Welcome, everybody. Today we have Miguel Baez. He's a bilingual Latino professional. He's one of my clients from Massachusetts. How's everything, first of all?
Everything's going great. Physically, everything's going amazing. Thank you for the classes. The classes has helped me so much. I didn't think I was going to be this comfortable talking to people, and I have had a few compliments from people that said how well do I speak in front of people, and I don't get nervous. I'm like, I had a great teacher, so that's the best way I
Oh,
can
thank
explain
you.
it. I got an amazing teacher. So, and they have heard me on the radio too. They're like, wait a minute, did I hear you on the radio? I'm like, yes. So, yeah, it's been amazing. It's been really good. Thank you. I appreciate
I
it. Thank
I
you.
am so proud of you. I'm honored to be one of your coaches. I know you've been through a journey uh, growing up and also, with everything that happened in your life. You wanted to become a speaker, but you are a firefighter, but you went through a situation with an accident. And when I met you, I said, this is a fantastic message. You have a powerful message to deliver. So tell me a little bit about that moment that you said, I need to talk to somebody that is going to help me to deliver my message.
Yes. Well, I've been a firefighter for 22 years in counting. I came here to the United States when I was 14 in 87. My grandmother and my dad were living here, so I came with them. And at that time, everything was very alone in the city. There was in places where I couldn't go, so I had to stay home. And I went to eighth grade, and after that, I wish I would have heard someone come in and talk to me and talk to us in school about about life, I guess. So just to make the long story short, I uh, finished high school. Then I stayed with a bunch of friends on the street and stuff like that. Nothing really bad, but just wasting time pretty much. And I became a firefighter in 2002. Um, 20 years later, I had a motorcycle accident, which left me as an amputee. I spent 3 weeks in a coma, in which I coded 6 times in 3 weeks. I woke up with a split pelvis, 11 broken ribs. My hip was tied. My pelvis is tied. My right arm was shattered, collapsed lungs. Uh, I had a pancreas, my liver, my kidney damage, and I had an internal bleeding 3 weeks that they couldn't stop. So they were really not giving me any chance to come back. So thanks to God, I woke up from the coma and I'm back. And with all the injuries I had, I made a decision of coming back to become a firefighter. Now, when I woke up, they have told me they didn't think I could be because no one ever heard of a firefighter being an amputee. And I was told that there were three in the country, but I really wasn't paying attention to that. I was more focused on me coming back because I love the job. This is something that I wanted to do since I was a little kid in Dominican. And now that I had the opportunity and it was almost gone, I made the choice that I wanted to come back. I wanted to do anything I could to be able to come back as a firefighter. And thank God I had the support of 90% of the department, which is great, and all the departments around. Even though I had a couple of people saying, "Nah, you can't do it. You're not gonna make it. I've never seen a firefighter. I don't know how that's gonna be done." And I just decided that was just their saying. So I
Mhm.
focus on doing everything that I needed to do. I focus on my injuries. I pray a lot. That's
Of
one of the
course.
things. Yes, that's one of the things that I give the most power to, which is God and prayers. And it took me a little while to come back. I knew that it wasn't going to be easy. I knew that failure was going to be part of everything I did at the time because, again, I could barely move when I came out of the hospital.
Hmm.
And I was told that between a year and a half and 2 years, I was going to be able to be out of the hospital and rehab. And all that was okay. I took all that as a benchmark but I really didn't want to spend that long, getting ready for it. But thanks be to God, everything is like when you have a determination in your mind, when you put something in your mind that you really want to do, when it's something that you focus because you love it,
Mm-hmm.
um, it seems like the problem don't exist. Whatever comes between you way doesn't exist.
Yes.
So I knew that it was going to be hard. That I really focused on. I planned for it. I knew there was going to be a lot of failures in the exercises that I was going to do and everything I was going to do, and I was willing to accept all that because after all this, I found out that failure it's actually part of the journey, you know.
Mm.
And the most important thing is doesn't matter how many times you fail as long as you get up and you keep going. And,
Yes.
and that
I
was
wanted to I
the,
wanted to ask you that exactly that because when I met you, you are persistent, you are courageous, you are bold also because tú dijiste no. Esto no va a definir mi futuro. This is not going to define what is going to be my life. I'm going to make it work. That's how I see it. I don't know if that's how you saw it at that moment because, everything was telling you, no, your life changed after that accident. You need to get used to it. You're not going to be the same person. And you said, okay, but I'm going to make it my new norm. I'm going to make it work. Tell me a little bit about that moment that you made the decision that this was not going to define your life. I mean, it is what it is. It happened. You were a firefighter. You were uh, living the life, doing your stuff. You were successful, and then you had an accident, and that changed everything. But didn't take away your dreams. That's what I'm talking about. It didn't take your way, your purpose, your mission. It made it even bigger because now you're sharing your story with people all over the world because I see your videos online, and now you're going to do speaking engagements. You've been doing speaking engagements to high schoolers, to college students, and that's powerful. So whatever happened, we don't want to be excited about happy or glad that happened, but whatever happened took you to another level for your purpose. Don't you see it that way?
yes, definitely. When I woke up from the coma, the first thing I did was when I started praying was accepting it. I had to accept it. I had to accept where I was. I knew that I was alive at least, and a lot of people at that time started sending me Bible verses. Y yo empecé
Mm.
a leer mucho de esos versículos de la Biblia y
Mhm.
a creerlo, de verdad creerlo y
Mm.
hablar bien claro con Dios. Entonces, hubieron personas que me decían, why don't you retire? I
Exactly.
think, it'll be better for you retiring. You can become, you like to mess with cars. So why don't you become a car detail person? Like you can, and all that stuff was like, yeah, no, I want to come back. And I remember talking to one of my superiors that he was completely adamant about me not coming back because they never seen an amputee firefighter. So to
Mm.
them, it was like impossible. And I said, well, if there is no one, I'm going to be the first one. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I'm going to be the first one. And one of the remarks he said was like, well, then don't tell me that in 6 months you're going to come back. And I remember saying, nah, we'll give it more like 8 to 10 months. I'll be back. So, it took me a year and a half to get back full duty to the fire department. And the main thing was accepting where I was, accepting that
Mm.
I had an accident, accepting that I was an amputee, accepting that the road from this point on was not going to be easy regardless. Um, and to understand that it was going to take time, not to be discouraged, not to be mad, not to stop thinking negative stuff, because that was another thing. One of the questions that I asked myself is, Miguel, is this going to be the end, or is this going to be the beginning for you? So to me, those are questions that I said, no, I can't do this. I'm going forward. I'm alive. I got God with me. I feel like I can do this, and I'm going to do it. And again, there was nothing in my mind besides the goal that I want to be back as a firefighter. That was my
Mhm.
main goal. So I think that made it in a way easier because I wasn't thinking of anything else besides coming back as a fire department. And all my energy and all my thoughts were put into that, into everything that I
Mhm.
needed to do to come back.
You had a compelling future. You had something in your mind. This is because sometimes when I feel like when we get discouraged and we just give up, it's because we cannot see at the other side of the tunnel. We don't see what can be possible. And that's when you get lost, you get discouraged. And the people around you maybe can influence in that. So you have to be careful with that. How did you protect that dream? I mean, the way that I do it, and I've been through my own journey of different stuff that I've been through, yo soy muy cuidadosa con mi entorno. I'm very careful who I let around me. It has to be positive people. I'm very careful who I share my story or my stuff with. I'm very careful with that. Did you have maybe to hide a little bit what you were going to do? You stay quiet for a little bit and just keep on working? Or you just like tell everybody, like, oh, I'm doing this? Because there's people who work quiet, trabajan calladitos. And I'm one of them. I'm very so when I have to speak about my dreams and my stuff, it takes a minute for me. I want to see it done. Watch me doing it. You say that I cannot do it. Watch me. That's me. No digo nada, me quedo callada y digo, okay, whatever. You said that, but watch me when I do it, and I'm gonna put it everywhere, and then I celebrate. But for me to share my story or share my dreams or share my stuff, it takes a minute for me. Are you different on that perspective?
No, Daisy. As a matter of fact, exactly as you say, what's what happened to me. For instance,
Okay.
like when I was came here, I came here into eighth grade. I did not know English. I was the only Dominican guy in eighth grade, and everybody else was Puerto Rican.
Oh.
So yeah, I was the only Dominican guy. There was a couple of girls, but everybody else, the whole class was Puerto Rican. So when I came here, to me that was a little bit scary. You know, it was
Mhm.
scary because I did not know anybody. I didn't know anything. I went to eighth grade, and I know that now that all this has happened, I knew that if I would have hear someone talked back in those days, my life would have been different in a way because after eighth grade, going to high school, like you say, I start spending time with friends, or we call it,
Mm.
and when you do that, you normally what they do rubs on you, and you end up acting the way they act. You end up doing
Mhm.
the way they do, especially when you look at them as a like you're the new guy around, and you just want to fit in, and you want people to like
Peer
you.
pressure. They call it peer
Yes,
pressure.
yes, yes. And then you're doing all these things that they doing, and even though it's not bad, it did got me into a lot of trouble with a law.
Mhm.
So when I became a firefighter the first time, I remember telling my daughter, you know what? I would like to speak with classes. I would like to go to school and speak to them just so they know where I come from. I come from a very poor section of the Dominican Republic with no resources, and I came here and I became a firefighter, and I felt and I wanted to talk to kids in school so to let them know that they do have a choice in life, that there's our choices, that there's no that they can become whatever they want to become, because right now we see, and especially here, me being a firefighter, I see a lot of the stuff is going on, and unfortunately there's a lot of young people involved in all this. And when I see a young guy on the street, I ask, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? And he's like, yeah, I don't know, I really don't know. And I hear a lot of that. So that's been motivating me a lot more to going to school and talk to them. And God knows how He does things. That this happened. I became a firefighter. He opened up a whole new world for me because I have been giving speeches to people, school. I went to a regional District 3, which is a big regional around here for firefighter, EMS, nurses. And I gave a speech, and that's when I was told, like, how can you talk to so many people and feel so comfortable? And I'm like, well, I had a great teacher.
Thank you for
So
that.
that's exactly what I say. I had a great teacher, you know.
That's great.
So, and now I'm going to share a little story with you. I had a dog. I was doing so well, and that just so you know a little bit how mental health works. I was so well mentally. I was very strong. I didn't think that I was going to be able to fall back and and just continue the way my life was going, because again, it just opening doors and amazingly. So yo tenía un perro que me ayudó por 1 año y medio durante yo estaba pasando all the process of getting better. And unfortunately, in April, he died. And I believe that everything happens for a reason. He came in at the right time when I needed him, but he was my companion. And when he passed away, I thought I was very strong mentally, but it did brought me down into a little, what I call, I parked myself. I pulled the emergency brake on my life, and I didn't want to do anything.
Wow.
I was lacking going to the gym. The only thing I was doing was just going to work, and people knew, and everybody's like, hey, you want to
They
talk?
noticed.
Oh, yes. If you want to talk, come on, let's get together. And they knew. But I just didn't feel like it. It was just a feeling and all this negative thought of me thinking, oh, it was my fault, and all this little thing that nobody else could help me but me. And it did took some time, and I had to think about it and say, listen, this is not where we've got to stay. This is not what we want. It happened. We believe that things happen for a reason. Let's give God thanks that he came at the right time. I needed it for whatever reason. He's gone. So that's how I've been thinking. And now I'm getting back into my routine of writing again, because I used to write all the time when I used to wake up and, just as a journal. I was not doing that. Going back to the gym and physically maintaining myself, which I stopped doing it for a couple of months. Talking to people, going out and putting videos out that I didn't do. And I was approached by a few firefighters saying, hey, ¿por qué tú no estás poniendo videos de ejercicio? Eso nos motiva a nosotros para hacer ejercicio y cosas así, cuando te vemos haciendo todo el ejercicio.
Yo lo hago también. ¿Tú has visto mi ejercicio? Yo lo hago.
Yes. And that was like, yeah, we can't do this. And there's people like, hey, we need you. And as a matter of fact, I have talked to 3 firefighters. Ellos son, ¿cómo se llama eso? Not full career firefighter, volunteers in Montana. There's one in North Carolina. There's a couple of places, and they have lost limbs, and they want to be able to come back to be firefighters. And I have been in contact with them because they ask me questions about, hey, what exercise you do? What happened when you do this? How's your socket feel? Is it tight? Is it too hard when you bend your knees? Like all those questions, And I've been able to provide a little help on that end to them. But my main focus is being able to talk to kids. Like my focus now is going to school in the area, in the region. I did it last year in Topsfield, which is near Boston. It was amazing. That was my last speech that I gave before everything happened. And it was amazing. So that really, I really like that. That really lit a fire under my butt, let's say. So, and that now it's like, that's my thing. That's where I'm focusing on. I'm like, let's focus on the kids. Let's focus on going to
I love
school.
it. I love it. When you told me you were going to go to schools and talk to kids, I have a couple high schools that I'm working on for you. Me encantaría que estuvieras hablando. We can do it virtually. It will be great to have you right in the classroom if it's possible. Let's see.
Absolutely.
That would be nice.
I would love to.
Yeah, because the fact to see you just in ti en persona is very powerful, because you are doing stuff that maybe people will never think that they could do.
Yes.
After an accident and losing some, part of their bodies, an arm, a leg, they give up. Pero no solamente eso, es seguir trabajando y aportando a tu comunidad y enviando un mensaje. You don't even have to talk, just showing up, just showing up as you are and say, I'm here and I'm going to keep going. It is so powerful. I am very honored to be your coach. And I'm very honored to see what you're doing with all the training that we went through. Hay momentos que, como me dijiste, te has caído. How do you go back? Tell the audience, what do you have to tap on to say, I am going to keep working? Por ejemplo, cuando se murió tu perrito, tú dijiste, I don't know, I don't feel the same. You have to make a decision every day. I believe it's every day that you have to make a decision. And all of us have to make a decision every day. But when you're going through an accident, when you're going through a situation, it may be a divorce, it will be maybe bancarrota, or something that you went through. You say, I have to make a decision today that is going to be a great day. How do you do it, Miguel?
Daisy, I had to focus in what I really wanted to do with my life after. I had to focus in family. I had to focus in my thoughts, what I was thinking. Because the thing is that when you go through a situation like that, when you feel like, let's say, you feel depressed or something like that, people think that you don't think. You just crunching like on your couch, te sientes en el sofá, pon la televisión y solamente te queda ahí, no quieres levantarte. Y es todo lo contrario. Tu mente piensa demasiado. Tu mente is always thinking. The thing is that it's thinking negative stuff.
Yes.
It just gets empowered with negative stuff. And then you don't want to get up from bed. Oh, las sábanas se sienten tan ricas when you want them. You just really don't want to get out. As long as it's something just that you need to do, that's it. Other than that, you just don't want to do or talk to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. So for me, I had to look around. I had to look around my family. I had to look around myself. I had to look around. I had to look on the people that I could be helping, the kids. Like I started, the way I started getting back, it's like, okay, so if I was in 8th grade, what would I like to hear from someone like me to come and talk? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
all those little things, because I know for a fact that there are kids out there that are probably in the same situation as I was, meaning came here by themselves, maybe with mom and dad, maybe mom and dad go to work and they stay home by themselves, you know, and to that it's a very depressing stage because right now there's so much entertainment and just to get your phone.
I know.
It's something that is very toxic, you know, and again, we don't understand, but when we feel down, we get our computer, our phone, a video game.
I
Just
know.
to get a little bit of dopamine in your brain so you can feel good for a little moment. And
Yes.
then once you let it go, you go back again to being depressed and not know what to do, to start thinking negative stuff, you know, all this stuff. So to me was, okay, what can I do? How can I help an 8th grade kid like me that is in the audience sitting? So
I love it.
And I think this had given me the opportunity to be able to show those kids that it's possible, man. You can do your dream. You can come in and conquer whatever you want. As long, you know, just shifting your focus, shifting maybe a little bit of your ¿cómo se dice eso?
Your focus, tu concentración, mentalidad.
Sí, concentrarse en lo que uno quiere. Empezar a escribir, hablar con personas que sean de confianza contigo, ¿sabes? Mirar muy bien con la persona que uno se junta. Sí. Mirar muy bien tus amistades. Decir, bien, uno, mira, ¿sabes? Lo que pasa, Daisy, es que cuando uno quiere cambiar algo, uno puede. Tú sabes lo que tienes que hacer. Tú sabes las amistades tuyas que no son buenas. Tú sabes las amistades tuyas que están haciendo decisiones malas, que a ti te perjudican por algo que ellos hagan. Tú sabes que si tú necesitas perder peso, tú tienes que ir al gimnasio y comer bien. Tú sabes, el problema es que nuestro pensamiento no nos deja porque nuestros pensamientos siempre están en un pensamiento negativo.
Me encanta.
Dos cosas negativas en nuestra cabeza.
That was one of the things that we worked a lot. La self-narrative, the self-dialogue. From the very that was one of the sessions that we had, and you were surprised about it. You told me, "Okay, I didn't know we were going to go that route." Me encanta, porque everything starts inside first. We need to figure it out what the heck is going on in your head. Y yo lo tuve que hacer. Es el capítulo, el número 1 en mi libro. Mi libro viene por ahí, ya lo sabes.
Sí,
Es,
sí, dándolo.
I talk about that. It's here first. You have to work your mindset, your mentality. And of course, you know, everything around you is a reflection of who you are inside. Pero a veces tenemos un poquito de miedito de no complacer. Estamos como, we have like a responsibility of everybody. I don't know if you understand what I'm going. Como que we have to please people, please mom, please dad, please my classmates. Oh, I don't want to look different. I want to look like them. They're not doing their homework, so I'm not going to mess up with that. El camino al éxito es solitario. O sea, a veces tenemos que estar solos para hacer lo que tenemos que hacer. Wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be at the gym. I'm by myself. Or finishing my master's when people were like saying, Daisy, you already have a career. You already did this. You already, well, you're just leave that alone. And I had to say, okay, no, thank you for the, thank you for the opinion, but I don't need it right now. Thank you for your concern, but I'm going to finish my master's. A veces el camino, tú tienes que tomar la decisión y decir, me voy sola. O sea, a veces uno dice, bueno, uno va lejos cuando va acompañado, pero a veces tenemos que ir solos a ese lugar donde queremos crecer, donde es las grandes ligas. And I feel that you have to do the same too, a little bit.
Sí, Daisy, exactamente como tú dices. Mira, todo empieza por dentro. Todo empieza por dentro y todo empieza acá. Yo pienso que tu mente controla tu corazón y tu corazón controla las manos, digo yo, lo que puedes hacer. Entonces, dependiendo del pensamiento que uno tenga, así se siente uno, así uno actúa. A mí fue, sí, exactamente lo mismo. Yo tuve que también decirme en esos tiempos cuando ese pensamiento negativo, cada vez que estaba pensando algo, yo tenía que decir, you gotta cut this, you gotta cut it. Hay que cortarlo. Esos pensamientos no te ayudan, esos pensamientos no te van a llegar a una parte. Tenemos que cambiar los pensamientos. Vamos para adelante. El ejercicio es una cosa súper importante porque el ejercicio crea serotonina que te hacen sentir bien. Te hace sentir bien. Entonces nosotros en vez de vamos a suponer, agarrar un juego de video o una computadora para sentir un poco bien, el ejercicio te hace sentir exactamente lo mismo. Y aparte de eso, es saludable. ¿Sabes? Es algo que te ayuda en tu bienestar de salud. El estar solo a mí me fascina. A mí me fascina porque cuando estoy solo yo puedo pensar. Cuando estoy solo puedo tomar tiempo para mí. Que eso es una de las cosas que desafortunadamente se ha perdido y es el estar solo para que uno pueda pensar. Ya la gente no piensa.
There's people who are scared to be alone,
Yes.
Miguel.
Yes.
They have to be constantly doing something.
They cannot be alone. And believe it or not, el estar solo es un privilegio. El estar solo es un privilegio. Hay mucha gente que está solo y es muy diferente el estar solo a la soledad. Son dos cosas muy diferentes. Porque tú puedes estar en un lugar donde hay 500, 600 personas y sentirte solo en soledad.
Yes.
Lost. Y tú puedes estar solo como yo, mejor dicho, porque yo soy medio loco cuando estoy solo. Por ejemplo, yo hago una fiesta yo solo. Yo me siento, yo digo, yo soy mi mejor compañía. A mí me encanta estar solo. Exactly. Porque yo soy mi mejor compañía. Yo sé, uno no se miente a uno mismo. Uno se dice las cosas como son. Y para mí el estar solo es poder aprovechar el tiempo para, vamos a suponer, respirar. Daisy, es tan importante el controlar su respiración para sentirte bien. A mí me encanta pasar tiempo respirando. El pensar. Me encanta meditar para calmar esos pensamientos negativos que entran. Para poder tener control de mi mente. Porque eso es una de las cosas. Eso, el estar solo es muy importante. Pero estamos en un mundo donde las cosas son tan rápidas, los juegos de video, el teléfono, todas esas cosas, la compañía que son negativas, todas esas cosas, trae consecuencias que no son buenas para ti. So, para mí el estar solo es importante porque me hace pensar en todo eso. Y
Exacto.
yo siempre escribo algo de, vamos a suponer, una amistad que tenga. Esta amistad, qué positiva me trae, qué bueno me trae,
Oh, wow.
qué negativo me ha traído. Todo eso yo lo escribo para poder ver y decir, coño, tengo razón en eso. Esta persona no es muy
Exacto.
buena, déjame cortar a esta persona. Y como me decía mi abuela siempre me decía, Miguel, usted respete a todo el mundo, no importa quién sea. Usted respete a todo el mundo porque no todo el mundo va a ser de la forma que usted quiere que sea. So, eso es lo que yo hago. Yo me llevo bien con todo el mundo. Ahora, si tú eres una persona que para mí no eres favorable, you're not good to me, I respect you, but I will distance myself from you.
I don't spend as much time. I will talk to you, but I don't spend time with you. And for the people who are tuning in, we're not telling anybody to get divorced or just to leave your family and move to the mountains.
No.
No. We love family. I have my family. I love my family. I love to spend time with my kids.
Yes, estando casado, teniendo niños. Yo, when my kids were small and I started meditating, I used to pray and then I used to tell my kids, give me 30 minutes. I'll be right back. And I used to go into my room.
It's to celebrate your time to yourself. And sometimes we need the right people around us also for whatever it is. It's not about just, I'm going to do my stuff alone. It's just be careful who is around you because it is so important to connect with the right energy, to put yourself in a network, in an area, in a community that is going to speak life over you. It's going to take you to the next level. It's going to encourage you. If you don't feel that, it is okay to remove yourself from that. You don't have to be, yes, because I need to be with my own people. No, I cannot leave my people behind. No. You're better off leaving those people. And if you want to help in the future, that community and that it was not helping you, you can do it other ways. But sometimes we feel guilty about leaving our communities or leaving our environment. If it's not working for you, come on. You have to do it. You will be better for them. Tú vas a ser mejor si creces, si te educas, si llegas hacia el próximo nivel y vuelves a esa comunidad para dar, hey, everybody, what you're doing is not the right thing. What you're doing is not going to take you to the next level. Look, I did this and this. And maybe you can help that community or that family or that friend that wasn't doing the right thing. So I think the most important responsibility we have, and sometimes we don't understand, is to be okay with us, to be okay with me, Daisy, to take care of me first. And the society, the world, sometimes tell us, no, that's muy, ¿cómo se dice? Como egoísta, or you're thinking about yourself. No, to think about yourself is the most important thing that you should do.
Absolutely.
And then you take care of the rest. You need to take care of you. Porque a veces nos dicen, no, porque el servicio es, you have to take care of your family, but you have to be careful with that. You need to build yourself first. And then I go back and figure it out how to help my family or my community. And it is important for the Latinos to understand that. Sometimes we just stay in the same communities and just stay there and we don't grow. We are growing in numbers in the whole United States, but we're not growing in leadership. We're not growing in corporate. We're not becoming the executive in the C-suite. So I feel like there's a switch that we need to change.
Yes.
That is, I need to build myself. I need to grow. I need to take care of me to be able to give more.
Yes. Well, if you think about it, Daisy, when you get in an airplane and the first thing they do is they tell you, if the oxygen mask deployed, put it on yourself first and then help the person next to you. Well, why do you think they say that? The reason why they say that is if you run out of oxygen and you die, you cannot help anybody else. So for instance, like if you want to help someone that has a mental issue, you need to feel better yourself.
Yes.
You cannot help somebody else when you're not good, when you don't feel good, when you don't feel better. And it is a healthy ego way of thinking about it, but it's in a healthy way about you taking care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. I heard someone that says you can't help a poor person by being poor.
I know,
You know,
exacto.
so you have to take care of yourself. You cannot give anybody else what you don't have.
What
If
you
you
don't
don't
have.
have the love for yourself, if you don't have the respect for yourself, you're not going to be able to love or respect somebody else. So it's
Exactly.
exactly how it is. You have to take care of yourself. So to me, I needed to be healthy mentally, physically, and emotionally. And uh, let me tell you a story. Like 4 months ago, I had this 22-year-old kid that went to the fire department, and I know him for a little while. He is an amputee as well. And he came to a fire department and said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And I said, "Absolutely." So we sat outside. He goes like, "Listen, now, I need an advice. I'm having a lot of problems. I've been thinking a lot of negative stuff. I know that I do things positive just so my mom and my sister and my brother feel proud of me. And and that is bothering me a lot." And I said, "Well, that you have to stop." I told
Mm,
them, "You can't do anything for nobody else unless you do it for yourself. Like,
mhm,
don't do anything for your mom, for your sister, for your brother, for anybody of your family if you don't do it for yourself first. You have to feel good and you have to be good yourself in order to help somebody else. For instance, like when you do something positive, good, and it has a good outcome and you happy about it, believe me when I tell you, your mom, your sister, and your brother will feel good about it. Will feel a lot better than if you just doing it for them. So
mhm.
those he came back. He came back like last week, and he was like, "Hey, I appreciate that. You know what you told me. It's been amazing. I have changed that a little bit. I've been working on it. And you mind if I come back and talk to you again?" I'm like,
Wow.
"Anytime, man. Anytime. I'm here."
Oh,
I'm always there.
that's
So that little thing right there, just that little seed that I planted in him, it's already working for him himself. So
exactly.
so yeah, we do that. We do a lot of things just to keep somebody else happy, just so
Yes.
we can again fit in para que la gente se sienta cómodo con uno y para que uno le
Con
caiga bien.
uno mismo, exacto, para uno caerle bien. I
Yeah.
have a story of somebody I met a while ago. Was a young woman in the military, and she told me in her story that she was the oldest, la más grande de la casa, and there were like 5 kids. So the mom, when she was in high school, would say, "Hey, take care. I'm going to go to work. Help me with the kids." La muchacha, the teenager, of course, she was helping around. But when the time came, Miguel, that she wanted to go to college and to go to the military, you know what the mom said? Are you going to leave me alone?
Oh yes, yes.
And she said, you will kill me if you leave. I
Esa
will
presión. Oh
die. ¡Qué
yes.
presión! The oldest girl. She was helping mom with the kids, of course. She was a teenager. She was the one cooking and helping. Bless all those teenagers that do that, which is great that they help mom. The mom has to work, daddy's not around, whatever. I don't know the whole story. Pero es la presión que esa niña a los 17, 17, 18 years old, when the mom told her, you leave me and you're hurting our family. ¿Cómo tú vas a hacer eso? Irte para el military. She wanted to join the military. And she looked at her mom and said, I'm leaving tomorrow. That's a woman right there.
Yes. Oh
To
yes.
tell, to
Yes.
tell, to tell her mom, after all that she said, me vas a matar, voy a morirme, estás haciéndole daño a tu familia, ¿cómo me vas a dejar? Tú eres la que me ayuda, estúdiate aquí en un college, aquí, haz algo aquí cerca.
Wow.
Y la niña la miró así y dice, Mom, I am leaving tomorrow. La mamá no la fue a despedir, Miguel. La mamá no le dijo adiós. Ella se fue sola con su bultito. Después de no la recibía llamadas, she will call her mom to
Yeah.
tell I'm okay, and she will not pick up the phone. And when she was telling me that story, Miguel, I almost cried. She was crying. She was like still trying to digest all the information, that digest all to process the emotions. And after a while, of course, time flies. Da, da, da. She got married with somebody from the army too. She got married. They had kids, and she called her mom. Mom, I'm married. I want you to come and visit me in Germany. I will send you the ticket. The mom went and they started crying at the airport. She said, I want you to forgive me for all these years that I just didn't understand. And look, the beautiful life you have. You have your husband, you have your kids, and I was not part of this because of that. Da, 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 da. So they start crying. And that tells you the level of, I just don't even know what is that. It's like it's betraying. You feel like you're betraying your family, but you need to do it. She had to betray her own family, the legacy of scarcity, the legacy of not having what you want in your life, the legacy. That's what the mom wanted at that moment. How you gonna leave me with all of this? You have to stay in this strife of scarcity, and I'm doing what you want to do with your life, not believing your dreams. And she said no. And I don't know what is that. And sometimes we do it to our kids. I mean, I try not to do that. I try to encourage them, but as a community, sometimes we feel we need to figure it out. What is that? There's a situation with Latino students that go to college that they go back. They don't finish,
Mm-hmm.
Miguel. Because the mom is calling, mira, tengo tu arroz y tu habichuela aquí en tu
Mm-hmm.
casa, y porque como te fuiste tan lejos, tú eres aquí en Nueva York y te fuiste para California, porque tú haces eso, muchacho, ta, 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 ta. Me dejaste solo. Entonces, there's a situation of homesick for Latinos. And I'm very passionate about that, to talk to Latinos. You need to finish college. They don't go to graduate school to do a master's, a doctorate, a PhD. They don't do it. There's also a group that I belong to is Latinas with masters. That's crazy, but there's a group because we don't go for it. We just
Yes.
stay. We're lucky we finished bachelor degree. So that's it. What is that situation that we need to let our children go and grow? What do you think about that?
Well, it's part of life, Daisy. It's part of life. That's how life is. I mean, if you think about it, we are the only creature that keep our kids. Like every animal, let's say, in the world, when the kids are, when they are born and they have a little bit of, let's say, growth, whether it's a bird or anything else, they kick them out. They're on their own.
Mhm,
You know,
exactly.
they don't
Yes.
know. We are the only creature that keep our kids attached to us because for some reason uh, we feed from them to keep us. I don't
Mm,
want to maybe to keep us secure, to keep us happy,
yes.
and unfortunately that is just a self-esteem type of thing issue. I know a cousin. I have two cousins that their mom did the same exact thing. Their
Hmm.
mom used to put things in. We grew up with we kind of like the same age, and their mom put things in their head like when they started growing up, 17, 18. Mom's just like, yeah, but you can't get a boyfriend. I mean, you're gonna leave me alone. I need help here. Like, how can that's gonna kill me? Same exact scenario, same exact words that she used to use. And guess what happened? Now they're in the 50s, 60s, and they never have a boyfriend, and then they never got married, nothing at all. They because of
Terrible.
the peer pressure of her mom.
That's terrible.
Yes, and now they feel like I wish I would have done that. But it's kind of, and they're still young enough. But now they have that belief in them that they too old, they can't get anybody, they don't want to do this. Now they self believe. It's like so negative and so disempowering que ya no tienen ganas de hacer nada así. Como
Mhm.
conseguirse un novio, salir por ahí, vestirse bien. Nada, they solamente home and go to work, and it's just that's their life. And I'm
That's
like, no,
crazy.
man, go ahead,
There's
go outside.
Yeah. Make mistakes.
Yeah,
Yes, do. Sometimes we're so afraid for Miguel, we can talk for hours. You are
absolutely,
an incredible. You are. I am very blessed to have you as my client, as a friend. I hope, of course.
absolutely.
Uh, and your message is so powerful. Your message is to keep moving, no matter what. Just believe in you. Just get up. It's one day at a time.
That's right.
Every day I make a decision to have a wonderful day. To just, como si del cielo te caen limones, aprende a hacer limonada.
Sí.
You have to see what you have and not what you don't have. That's what I see with you. It's like keep moving forward, keep going. I know I can get depressed, I can get sad, but I don't. I stay there for a minute. I just shake it off and
Yeah.
keep going. And we need more of that. Sometimes we are so complacency, como que
Yes.
nos quedamos ahí and complaining. My life is
Yeah.
not this and that because of you or because of the government or because of that and that. No, it's one day at a time. Keep moving forward. Keep believing in you. And everything starts with the first conversation that we have every day. It's the self narrative. It's in your head. We are a mirror. Miguel is a mirror of me. Miguel is a mirror of the things that I also believe on. That's why we connected immediately when he called me for to be his coach, because what you think is what you're gonna see. So it's very important that you work this, what you have between your eyes.
Exactly, exactly like you say. And another thing is like, I know we know this social media and we do count and use social media, but I feel like not everything goes on social media. Not everything. Like do things on your own, work together. Don't say what you're gonna do. Just go ahead and have the passion and do it and show people when they might say like, oh yeah, you know what, I haven't seen Miguel in 4 or 5 months. Yeah, he's probably done. But then you come out and you show yourself that you're stronger, show yourself that you healthier, show yourself that you mentally healthy, and you're talking to people and people are happy and you see him happy. They'll be like, wow, where was Miguel? Like, but they don't see that I've been working and all that, like, on my own, like quiet, in a quiet thing.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like being alone is important. It's really, really important. And it's a gift. To be alone is a gift. Not to be lonely, to be alone. So
Mm,
by yourself. So yeah, I use that a lot. And that is very, very important. Like you say, everything starts up here. You dialogue, how you talk to yourself. You are the first person that because you are the person that you talk the most to. Believe it or not, you the person that you talk the most to.
yes.
So whatever you tell
Yes.
yourself is a uh, uh, I believe subconsciously that you do it. So
Exactly.
it's very important what you tell yourself. Don't talk to yourself in a negative way. Talk to yourself in an empowered way.
Exactly. Yes. And surround yourself with the right people when you have to. If you have to be alone, be alone. But when
Absolutely.
you're choosing people, choose the right people, because that's so important. Don't take that lightly. That's how you say it. Don't take that
Right.
lightly to have people around you that can support you, encourage you, and speak life over you. And if that's not possible for whatever reason, your family or your community, it's okay to be by yourself. It's okay. So thank you so much, Miguel. I think I took a lot of time from you, but I know you're super busy. But I want to encourage you to keep putting videos, of course, online. We want to hear about you, see your message. Y aquí bienvenido cuando quieras. Me encantaría ver un podcast tuyo en las redes. You interviewing, talking to people. So if you need help with that, yeah, I think that's something that we talked about.
Yes.
That I think it's important that we see people like you talking about encouraging messages. Keep going, be brave, be bold, stay connected with the right energy, with the right people. So please keep putting videos, and I would love to see that you do like a podcast or something like that. I don't know.
Probably.
Hopefully,
I have
hopefully,
asked. I've been asked, like, why don't you do a I've been asked to some if I don't do a podcast.
yes,
Maybe in the future that's something that interests me. I have
yeah,
a very good friend of mine that is a double amputee. I think I told you. He lives in Florida. He runs the marathon. He has the world record in Boston for marathon running, double amputee. And me and him, once we met, we connected right away. It was like such a connection.
great,
And we have talked about that. We're like, hey, maybe we
yeah,
should. He's from Kenya. So he's like, hey, maybe we should. We got to get together. But he's so busy and so am I. So we haven't had that time to click on it. But yeah, that's something that we both thinking about. Like maybe sit down and call it table talk. Just because that's how we met.
yes,
That's how we
yeah.
met. When we met, that's what we was. We were at a table and we just talking and we just clicked. It's like this would be so important to people to hear. Maybe maybe we can do this. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a possibility in the future. That's definitely a
I would
possibility.
love to see that. I would love to see that.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, everybody. Just stay connected with the right people, the right energy. Work alone also every now and then. And of course, stay connected with God. It's so important that we sometimes we take lightly that part of a spiritual. I know there's a lot of things out there, but it's so important just to, you know, have that moment that you are meditating, praying, whatever you want to do, but to connect with that source, God.
Yes.
And I do it. I try to do it as much as I can. And it's important. It's part of the journey as well. So thank you, Miguel, for being with us today.
Thank you, Daisy, so much. I thank God for putting you in my way. Thank you so much because you have helped me so much. You have no idea. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful to have met you and to have you as a friend. Thank you.
Thank